I used to make fun of it a lot when I first moved to the Bay Area. People with the urban walking poles and, there's a lot of silliness, you could say, in Berkeley.
Most of the people are of similar ideas, i.e. a little bit on the left side. Don't have to worry about Trump signs popping up.
I was expecting that it was kind of a very dull town with no amenities, just a college and few restaurants.
Any one thing about, look at it.
Yeah.
Look at the sky, look at it. I always say I go out and walk in a park.
Hey everyone, in this video I'm in Berkeley asking locals what it's like to live here. Is it more than just a college town and retired hippies? Let's find out. What's your name?
My name is Colin.
Nice to meet you, Colin. How long have you been living in Berkeley?
3 years.
And where'd you move here from?
I was living in Oakland near Lake Merritt.
Why the change of cities?
Oakland was pretty gritty in my neighborhood. I lived also in a small one-bedroom, and there was a lot of crime. It was the pandemic, and I needed more space, and this neighborhood is beautiful. So I was looking at Rockridge and Elmwood became available amazingly, so I moved here.
What would you say some of the pros and cons of living here are?
In Elmwood or Berkeley at large?
Both.
So Elmwood is very, very beautiful. It's safe, it's nice, it's clean. There's great restaurants and shops around everywhere. People are very nice. Tends to be kind of affluent, so there's a lot of advantages there. Berkeley, I've come to really like Berkeley. I used to make fun of it a lot when I first moved to the Bay Area. People with the urban walking poles and, there's a lot of silliness, you could say, in Berkeley. I always liked that Berkeley was a nuclear-free zone, as though they're going to do something. Don't you dare have nuclear in our city, or you're going to have a city ordinance against it.
Yeah.
But I've come to really appreciate Berkeley. A lot of educated people. It's a very peaceful place, and still has access to resources.
How would you describe living in Berkeley compared to like Alameda or San Francisco or other Bay Area cities?
Well, it's a lot denser than Alameda. Well, I mean, in most places in Alameda, I'd consider Berkeley to be denser. I think that Berkeley kind of stands out. It's a city based around the university. So you get a lot of educated people, but you also get things like a really interesting urban design where they focus on pedestrians a lot more, certainly than Alameda. But even parts of San Francisco, you have more intentionally in urban planning here. So I really value that. There's going to be a lot less to do. I think in terms of a college city, we really punch below our weight in terms of bars. But then if you walk around by the university and you look at on a Friday night, outside of the frats, the kids are like in their windows studying. And it's an elite school for that reason. So it doesn't have as much nightlife as SF. I think in terms of Alameda feels to me like I'm from the Midwest. It feels more like the Midwest. It's very kind of suburban. It's safe, and I think that a lot of people move there to have families with that in mind.
Yeah.
I don't think Berkeley is quite like that, but I think that it's safe enough. I feel like, but it is. I think of Berkeley as being primarily a place where educated people live.
So you said previously you used to kind of laugh at Berkeley and make fun of it. What would you say surprised you about living here, the reality compared to the perception?
Well, Berkeley, I think, has a lot of variety. West Berkeley is really different than the university. North Berkeley is different than Central. The hills are certainly different than anything else. So, it has a lot of different places. It has the hills, it has the flats. It's. I think that there is a stereotype that exists, and there's a kernel of truth, just like anything. I will say that they renamed manholes in Berkeley to maintenance holes. That was pretty funny, but that stereotype is not true across the board. And Berkeley's beautiful, and I think by and large they take good care of the places that we have. There's great parks, and so I've been impressed with that. There's a couple things that I think they could do better. Picking up the trash probably a little bit, but nothing really that significant. And so you still feel in an era where it feels like a lot of society's falling apart. Berkeley doesn't really have too much of that kind of feeling.
Okay. Anything you would change about it?
I do like what is happening with upzoning. So I'm in favor of adding density to the city of Berkeley. I'm sure there would be things that I would change about it. I think at one point they were trying to get rid of off-street parking spaces or make it harder.
Okay.
I would have to investigate that to know how much I support or oppose it, but nothing really stands out drastically.
All right. Who would not enjoy living here?
People that want a lot of nightlife. I think in general, there's Berkeley appeals to really young people who go to school here and then much older generation. And I think that people who are single in their 20s, they might not like it. I would say they're probably less likely to like it than Oakland or San Francisco.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Any final words to someone thinking about moving to Berkeley?
Check it out. Go to different neighborhoods. There's a lot to see in different places. Also check out all of our parks. The parks are beautiful. There's great swimming locations. Tilden is beautiful and really amazing trails. I love hiking Claremont Canyon. I live really close to it.
Yeah.
And we punch way above our weight and with regard to the outdoors and nature.
Hello there.
Hi,
What's your name?
my name's Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. How long have you been living in Berkeley?
24 years.
Oh, wow. So what's changed in that time?
Oh my gosh, what's changed? Well, COVID changed a lot. A lot of places went out of business that we used to go to. They've changed a lot of the streets. So they're one ways now and there's more bike access,
Yeah.
which is good. And then, but it gets a little confusing parking sometimes. It's like, wait, we used to park against the sidewalk. Now you want me to park in the middle of the street? Those are the biggest changes, I would have to say.
Okay. What are the pros and cons about living here?
Pros, where we live, you can walk wherever you want to. We're near Monterey Market. We're near a cafe, a sushi place, a pizza place. Very important. Solano Avenue. We walked here from where we live.
Yeah.
Most of the people are of similar ideas, i.e. a little bit on the left side. Don't have to worry about Trump signs popping up. Cons, it's gotten expensive, but it's the Bay Area.
If there was something you could change about it, what would you say that would be?
The only thing I would change is somehow magically solve the homeless crisis. But no one's been able to do that yet. But if I could change anything, if I got the power, that's what I would do.
Who would you say would really enjoy living here?
Anybody from their 20s to their 80s. But if they're 60 and over, don't go to the hills. It's up, down, up, down. So we live in the flats.
Okay.
So we'll be able to walk until we...
And how much does the university have an impact on your life?
0. We're retired. So
What about college students running around?
fun to see on Telegraph. I take back part of what I said, Zellerbach Hall. We go there for shows. But no impact. They just make me feel old.
No words for someone who's just thinking about moving to Berkeley.
Come and check it out. I wouldn't live anywhere else.
Hello, I'm Harsh.
Hi, nice to meet you. How long have you been living in Berkeley?
I'm living in Berkeley since 1.5 years, and I completed my master's in mechanical engineering since 6 months. I graduated this May, and currently I am working as a project manager for an NGO.
Where did you live before here?
I was back in India. I completed my bachelor's in India, and then I came here for my master's.
What do you think so far?
Berkeley is amazing town, and there are a lot of opportunities here. There are a lot of researches going on. Plus, being California Bay Area, it's an startup hub for all. So, like, I have learned a lot about the technical things as well as the non-technical things.
What would you say some pros and cons about living here are?
There are a lot of pros and cons, but like I would like to mention 2 pros and 2 cons. So the first pro is that it's pretty decent city. Maybe you can say kind of a bit safe compared to other locations, like for me, because this is my first time in the US. And the second pro is obviously, as I mentioned, the opportunities I got here and the network I built here, which is very difficult to get in the Texas or the mid-Michigan areas. So that's two pros. And the 2 cons are that it's quite expensive for the students here, right? So I live in 2B, in sharing. I pay $1,300 per bed, so that's a lot. And other than that, so it seems pretty good.
What did you think about Berkeley before moving here?
I was expecting that it was kind of a very dull town with no amenities, just a college and few restaurants. But now, like when I came here, like it's pretty decent enough. We have got our apartment has got a lot of amenities, as well as we have got the pubs and clubs, restaurants, various varieties of foods, and yeah, that's very good.
Cool. Do you see yourself living here for a long time?
Yeah, I would love to live in the Berkeley. Yeah, and like currently I'm planning on to move to the SF because I have got some interviews there. Yeah, so I love California a lot. Yeah.
What would you say to someone thinking about moving to the Berkeley area?
I would definitely recommend students to come to the Berkeley if like they have got other options other than the Michigan, and it actually depends upon the curriculum too. But Berkeley is pretty decent. It has got decent clubs and all, and I would definitely recommend students coming to Berkeley for the opportunities I get here, and plus that we get also a name tag for that graduating from the UC Berkeley. Yeah, so that's great.
Hi, what's your name?
Debbie Levine.
Debbie, how long have you been living in Berkeley?
Since 1971.
Oh, okay. What brought you here?
A job. My husband was teaching at Berkeley, and I got a job at San Francisco State.
What?
So we stayed.
Okay. I was going to say, what kept you here?
The jobs, and we love it.
What do you love the most about living here?
Oh man, what do I love the most? I love the community. It's beautiful. Look at this. I walk out and it's like going into a park.
Yeah.
A lot of, anything you want, basically. I mean, I love being able to go from Berkeley down to the Bay, over to Point Reyes. I love the transit opportunities. I can go everywhere on BART or the bus or whatever, which I really like.
Yeah.
And being able to get into San Francisco and do that. So that's great. And as I said, I like the community. I like the fact there's a lot of involvement in local and, more national things. So,
why would someone want to move to Berkeley instead of another Bay Area city like Alameda or Oakland or San Francisco, for example?
There are plenty of good things in all those places. I'm partial to being able to walk to the BART. The campus, the university, that brings a lot of activity that I really appreciate. I've made a lot of use of the resources there.
Yeah.
So that's part of the draw, I
Okay.
think.
Is there anything you would like to change about Berkeley?
Anything I would like to change, I wish we could deal with homelessness in a humane way. Mm-hmm. I don't like just moving people, but, and I think Berkeley's done a lot and is trying to do a lot, and I appreciate that. So I think there's a lot of, there's support for affordable housing. I'd like people to be more realistic about the need for new housing, which, the state is mandated, and we got to figure out a way to bring new housing in a way that does respect people's space and aesthetics.
Any final words? Anyone thinking about moving to Berkeley?
Any one thing about, look at it.
Yeah.
Look at the sky, look at it. And I always say I go out and walk in a park. I'm living in a beautiful part of Berkeley. That's important to say. We bought a house in 1970. Oh no, we bought our house in 1973.
Okay.
The neighborhood was redlined.
Yeah.
We had trouble getting a loan. So it's changed a lot. We were able to afford it on a very small percentage of our salaries.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder now. It's a lot harder. And we've become, by default, we've become much more privileged than we were when we moved in.
Hi,
What's your name?
Meredith.
Hi, Meredith. How long have you lived in Berkeley?
26 years, my whole life.
Oh, wow. How has it changed in that time?
Lots of turnover on restaurants, a lot of new people coming in, young families. I think when I was growing up, there were a lot of older people on our block and a lot of professors, and now it's turned into a lot of younger people.
What would you say some of the pros and cons of living here are?
Oh, I love it. It's super walkable. The public transportation is really good. I was just on the bus and just walked home. I think there's just so much going on. I love being near the university and really good food.
What do you love about being so close to the university?
Going to football games, lacrosse games, soccer games, field hockey games, all of that, and just all the energy that it brings too.
Who would you say would do really well living in Berkeley?
Oh, anyone. Just anyone looking to have fun and get out and about, go into nature.
What would you say are some of the downsides of living here?
The traffic is bad getting into the city. You have to be like patient with public transportation because it's definitely like takes some time and isn't always super clean, but it gets you where you need to be. So yeah.
What would you say just the general vibe of people here are?
I think it's pretty mellow, but people are very involved in the community, in a lot of different organizations, and a lot of people are really involved in their neighborhood too.
Any final words to someone who's thinking about making the move?
It's great. My parents were here for a very long time, and I plan to be too, so it's great.
If you want to watch a video about the differences between living in Berkeley and Oakland, watch this video here. If you're thinking about buying or selling a house in the Bay Area, my real estate team and I would love to help. My contact information is in the description below. If you like videos like this, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. See you next time.